Hello everybody, video here again for you today on this episode of Everything is Dave Ramsey's Fault. Actually, this is from February 4th, so back a little while. This is Vishesh Razingani. Pardon me if that is incorrect pronunciation there, sir. Out of touch. Dave Ramsey slams Philadelphia couple for paying $80,000 a year in childcare, and some parents on TikTok now think Ramsey owes them an apology. Are they right? Of course they are not. But of course they think Ramsey owes them an apology because no matter what Dave says, people are going to think that. And so it doesn't matter if a couple people think something. It doesn't matter. Let's see what the article says. Outspoken finance personality Dave Ramsey kicked up a fiery debate on TikTok recently, just one, when he described a caller to his show as dumber than crap for paying too much in childcare. They are. $80,000 a year is crazy. They could, yeah. Are you going to Harvard? He asked, aghast at the astronomical cost. They're not even in school, and you're already paying $25,000 a head. So I guess there's 3 children, I guess. Altogether, the caller, Dave from Philadelphia, pays a total of $80,000 a year for his kids' daycare and to hire a nanny in the summer, admitting it's a pretty fancy daycare. I bet. There's cheaper routes, said co-host Jade Warshaw. You can downgrade. Absolutely you can and should. However, viewers watching a short clip of the original interview last year posted on TikTok in January were unconvinced, calling Ramsey out of touch. Here's why younger parents believe older generations are likely unaware of the rapidly escalating costs of childcare. This out of touch thing is crazy. Because again, as we've discussed in my 2 previous episodes of this, which is not really a series, but I guess easily could be, it's not a generational thing. The 2 previous ones were saying that it was like people under 40, and then the other one said Generation Z. But no, there's people over 40 years old, even boomers, that are convinced that Dave Ramsey is out of touch as well, because they're basically letting what's happening in the world dictate their actions, as opposed to the other way around. You can look at what's happening in the world, and you can do the best thing that you can. So here's a quick primer on that. So, if apples go up at the store and they cost more, you can either pay more for the apples, or, check this out, you can buy something that's cheaper than that. If you don't want to up your grocery bill, you can choose to do that. You're not locked in to buying those apples. Nobody is making you buy those apples. Continue with the article. Childcare payments have surged 32% since pre-pandy levels, reports the Bank of America Institute. As of September 2023, the average household spent over $700 a month on childcare. But this figure can vary widely depending on where the family lives, of course. In New York City, for instance, sending an infant to daycare full-time could cost as much as $2,854, according to childcare platform care.com. Okay, so that's $3,000. So that would be $36,000 approximately a year. And so then times 3 people, so then you're looking at over $100,000 in New York City, okay? And so, as it always, the advice for New York City and California and Denver and places like that are do not live there. Move to America instead, where we don't have those price gouging prices. Let's see. To keep up with rising costs, some parents are taking up additional jobs and side hustles, while others have left the workforce entirely, which you should if you're not making considerably more than the amount of the child care. For example, in the case of the $80,000 child care, the lesser earning parent should be making, I would imagine, so they'd have to be making, just to break even with the child care amount, they'd have to be making $100,000 a year. So by the time you take out taxes, it'll be around $80,000, maybe a little less. So to make it worth it, the lesser earning parent would have to be making something like $130,000, $140,000, something like that. And so if that's the lesser earning parent combined with the higher earning parent, then, you know, once you start talking about that kind of income, you're going to get fewer people that are feeling sorry for you at that point. So, but regardless, you have to be making enough for that to happen. There's been plenty of callers that are actually losing money by having the second person work, and then childcare is more expensive. And so that would be when you would leave the workforce entirely to take care of your children, because it is cheaper than you going to work and paying someone else to take care of your children during the day. Let's see, it even says the country's childcare quote-unquote crisis cost the economy $122 billion in lost earnings, productivity, and revenue every year. Okay, it's not a parent's responsibility to prop up the economy instead of take care of their own children and do what's best for them financially. So you can't say that. I mean, that's ridiculous. That's dumber than crap as well. Let me read it one more time. Ready Nation even says the country's childcare quote-unquote crisis costs the economy $122 billion in lost earnings, productivity, and revenue a year. Yeah, that's not economy. That's not your money. It's the person that has chosen to not work and take care of their children. That's their money, not yours. In this context, Ramsey's caller doesn't seem unreasonable. False. How can you even say that? How can somebody even write that? I mean, I guess, you know, people write and say a lot of things to get clicks and such, but in this kind of Ramsey's caller doesn't seem unreasonable. So, I mean, that would be the same as me saying the sky is red. And then this writer here said, in this context, Coach Steve Money doesn't seem unreasonable because he thinks it's red, and so we should give value to that, and blah, 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 blah. Stupid. Dumb. It's dumber than crap. Just like Dave said. Dave owes this guy an apology, says one commenter. Of course. That's everything that comes out of Dave's mouth is probably going to get that from someone. Is somebody thinking he owes somebody an apology over it. Because he tells it like it is. He tells the truth. He tells it like it is. Let's see. Parenting and career influencer Paige Turner reacted to Ramsey's video in her own TikTok video. I'm sure she did. And that's fine. Secure that bag. I'm trying to do the same thing on this channel. And so that's why I'm covering it. It never ceases to amaze me how out of touch some people are with the lived experiences of parents here in the United States. Dave's not out of touch with it. He's had kids. I don't know if they were ever in daycare. You know what? If they weren't, he and Sharon probably decided, oh, Sharon could work, but it wouldn't be worth it because of how expensive daycare is. So they just took care of themselves and not done that and she didn't work. Maybe, I don't know the situation in there, but that's how it works sometimes, is where they take care of it instead of whining about how much something costs. If something costs too much, you do not participate in that and you find other ways. Let's see, Turner says, Dave is supposed to be an expert in his field. He is, so you would think he would know that childcare is the #1 rising cost for families here in our country. Okay, I'm sure he does know that. Does that give you a pass on doing dumber than crap stuff? No, it does not. Turner goes as far as saying Ramsey shouldn't be giving financial advice if he doesn't recognize this key piece of the current financial reality for many Americans. She believes the government needs to step in and help subsidize the cost. Of course, the government's always the answer. Our tax money, like it's not being used for dumber than crap stuff already. Unreal. Subsidized childcare could be the answer. Net childcare costs about 32% of the average wage in the U.S. Yes, which is why sometimes you don't do it. Sometimes the lower earning parent needs to stay home with the kids instead of work. Canada's working towards lowering childcare costs to $10 Canadian a day, or $7.44 USD per day. Well, in some parts of Europe, early childcare is free. And, and government, they can do all kinds of stuff if they offer it, take advantage of it. Go ahead, knock yourself out. But I don't think they should. The 2021 American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA, directed nearly $40 billion to child care centers across the U.S., but that program ended in September 2023. Experts warned the country was headed for a child care cliff and recommended another subsidy program to ease the burden on parents and the economy. Or you could just not pay for something that's too high price. Says there may be other options. Darn right there are, like not working and taking care of your own kids. While many Americans must make a difficult choice between expensive daycare centers or unpaid labor at home, there may be a few other options that parents can look into as well. Employers, child care subsidies, and their benefits package, that's fine as well. Depending on your income, you could be eligible for certain tax credits. That's fine as well. If it's in the tax law, knock yourself out, do that. Or consider reaching out to your people in your community. You can talk to other parents about sharing a nanny or starting a child care co-op in which parents take turns watching each other's children. I don't know about that. Daycares at least have to have a license of some type. And that's it. Article just ends right there. So yeah, well, I guess that was today's episode of Everything's Dave's Fault, and he should apologize for everything. And here's the main thing. They call up the Ramsey show and talk to Dave, and Dave is an expert on his own opinion. He always says that, and that's how he answers the questions. So you can't expect him to give you the feel-good answer. You're not going to get that from Mr. Ramsey. You're going to get some truth. And hopefully it'll keep you from doing dumber than crap things. And because I think that absolutely is. And so if I wish I knew what the lower income parent was making. And then you compare that to the 80K, and then that's probably ridiculous. But again, so say the lower earning parent is making like she had to be making what to make it worth it, $150,000 a year to make that worth it, to pay $80K for childcare. So if the lower earning parent is making $150K, then if you add that to the higher earning parent, that's going to be over $300,000 a year. And then when you think about it in that context, I don't think as many people will feel sorry for these parents at that point, because $300K is quite a bit. Alrighty. Well, this has been another fine episode of Everything's Dave's Fault. He owes an apology to everybody. And as I keep finding these, I'll keep reacting to them. Fun times. Once again, I'm Coach Steve Money. I'm a Ramsey. Yes, Ramsey. Solution certified financial coach. And if you've got money problems or you just want to make sure you're on the right track and not paying $80,000 a year for childcare, you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation / assessment with me at calendly.com / Coach Steve Money. There's a video conferencing appointment, so you can do that from anywhere in the world, even Philadelphia, where you pay $80,000 a year for 5-star level childcare. Should go down to the McDonald's childcare level. You can email me about coaching or anything else on my YouTube channel, coachstevemoney@gmail.com. Channel donations, go to paypal.me / Coach Steve Money or CashApp, $ Coach Steve Money or Walmart gift card to coachstevemoney@gmail.com. You can have me on the gram at Coach Steve Money. Of course, the YouTube channel is youtube.com / Coach Steve Money. Thank you so much for watching.